This is your senior traveler, Fritz, narrating Sebastian visits the Liberty Bell, South Dakota. Pierre, the South Dakota capital, was straight south from Bismarck about 200 or so miles. The drive through rural areas and sunflower fields was pleasant enough. Sebastian had never seen millions of sunflowers planted as what appeared to be a cash crop. He knew sunflower seeds came from the sunflowers and thought that this must be the sunflower seed capital of the world. Pierre was established in 1880 and became the state capital in 1889 after South Dakota won statehood. Named for fur trader and businessman Pierre Chouteau, Jr., Pierre was at the western end of the Chicago and Northwestern Railway. The city flanks the eastern side of the Missouri River and is in the center of South Dakota. The early inhabitants prior to the settlers were the Araucarian and Sioux Indians. Sebastian and Dad arrived in Pierre before lunch on a cold and blustery day. The city of about 13,000 residents was very small. Sebastian recalled that only Mount Pillier in Vermont was smaller. The Liberty Bell was across the street from the Capitol, which was a beautiful historic structure with a rustic dome topped by a widow's walk. The dome had a number of carvings that provided interesting details. Inside the Capitol, Sebastian found an atrium that featured individual statues for wisdom, integrity, vision, and courage. These statues were inspirational and represented character that all humans should have. He also saw a mural of a Native American and a settler talking. Sebastian knew Native Americans were displaced from their ancestral homelands and wished that there had been more cooperative and agreeable exchanges. The next day, Sebastian and Dad drove about 180 miles to western South Dakota to Mount Rushmore and the Chief Crazy Horse Memorial. Due to cloud cover, Sebastian could not see Mount Rushmore with carvings of Presidents Lincoln, Washington, Roosevelt, and Jefferson. He was very excited to see the Chief Crazy Horse Memorial on a mountaintop a few miles from Mount Rushmore. Chief Crazy Horse was a leader of the Lakota in the 1800s who fought the United States against settler encroachment of Lakota territory and to preserve the traditions of the Lakota people. South Dakota is the final state for this trip. Sebastian learned a lot by seeing the inside of the state capitals visited, the North Dakota Museum, and the Chief Crazy Horse Memorial. He was ready to return home and excited to complete his state visits in 2023.